So here in Topic 4, at this point you will have completed now the first part of this course. So Topic 4, 5, and 6 are linked to each other in that they look at the three key statistics that macroeconomists focus on. So this is the first truly macroeconomic topic. And this first one deals with gross domestic product, what you might sometimes hear in the news as GDP. And what that basically means is how much is being produced. So there'll be a bit more calculation involved here, but really the challenge here is both being able to calculate GDP and then being able to differentiate between nominal GDP and real GDP. Nominal GDP is the value of goods in that year's prices. Real GDP is the value of the products at a certain base year. Because what GDP does is it's the dollar value of all the goods produced in the country. But if goods are just becoming more expensive, then nominal GDP would go up. But usually when someone wants to measure GDP, they're really not asking whether prices are going up. What they really want to know is more stuff being produced. So if we look at it from the demand side, the GDP, the total amount of production, has four major components: consumption, investment, government spending, and the international sector, which would be exports minus imports. Now, you add all that up and you get nominal GDP. Then you can break down each of these components. So here they're breaking down on the supply side. And there'll be a long discussion here that you'll read of the nuances of calculating GDP. But then where things start to get challenging for some students, and so you should kind of watch for as you're learning the material, would be, again, the differences between nominal GDP and real GDP, with the difference really being the GDP deflator. GDP deflator meaning, it would be a way of measuring it'd be a way of measuring how much prices have changed in a given year. Because if nominal GDP goes up, let's say by 10%, part of that 10% that's increasing could be production increasing, and part of it could be the prices increasing. And what the GDP deflator does is it allows us to extract or subtract the way in which prices are increasing. So you'll have to be able to know how to calculate the GDP deflator, which you start to see right here, and to calculate real GDP. So these are some key equations here that a lot of students do have some difficulty with, so I would encourage you to look at that closely. And that's probably the most difficult part of this chapter, is the differences between nominal and real GDP.